Welcome back to Pokemon.
As you can see, we have our famed Mario.
Chris
You ever
Pratt.
named your Pokemon Mario before?
No.
Because I know
No.
what we should call it if we play another Pokemon game on this channel. I feel like we have to play the new game on the channel because we talk about it so damn much, even though I feel my interest of it is waning.
It would be interesting.
We do a blind playthrough. We could do a co-op playthrough with Frank.
Yeah. Can we
Yeah.
do it? We'll do a series where we watch Frank do it. And
Well,
we'll just sit there and laugh at him.
we could do that.
Yeah.
I would like to do a series of Pokemon with you guys, because then we can all like pitch in and like I'll play the game and or something, and then you guys can be like, use Fun the guy, and I'm like, all right, and then we'll name the Pokemon fucking shit like Suicune and shit. You
Yeah.
can call something like horrible Liam if you like.
Yeah.
Call that
Giraffe-ary.
stupid new giraffe. Rigoraph. It looked like that he evolved like normally as well, and everyone was like, holy shit, they've
Yeah,
added
it's
regular evolutions
It's
back.
Giraffe-ary, and then evolves into Frigoraph, and then evolves into Frigoriggery, and then Frigorpig.
And then it evolves
Well,
into fuck off.
the thing is, I'm pretty sure Farigiraf is still a palindrome, but it's
Yeah.
like backwards.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good name. I like the name a lot. I just thought the
Evolves
design...
into Pigip.
I wanted his tail to turn into... I wanted him to turn into his beta design, okay? There, I said it. You've seen the beta Giraffe Rig design, haven't you, Frank?
Yeah. I want Golbat to go back to being its yellow sprite, but, you know, we can't always get what we want.
Yeah. Zil Pantissimo.
Yeah.
You remember this guy? He laughs at me. He's also the... I'm sure I've told you this super fun fact. This is like literally like Did You Know Gaming 101, but his head model underneath it is the postman from the Zelda 64 games.
Yep.
They had to put the new art, put the old art in the new format in this game. And they could have just drawn a line and two dots and been like, yeah, it's his face.
That's how I make most of my characters anyway.
All my characters look the same.
Wow. Hey, pole guy.
All of my characters are just men in capes.
They don't all have capes. Kane doesn't have a cape, does he?
No.
I didn't think so. You bitch, you liar. I was gonna say, I have no characters with capes, and then I remembered like 3 characters that have to have capes.
Yeah. It's like, it's not a cape, it's a coat.
It's a cowl, I'll have you know. You know the face of this tank is me when she don't stop sucking. I'll be here all week, guys. Oh my god. You gotta put that thing
Meanwhile,
away.
the evil Mario is she who will not stop sucking. What that tongue do?
He's
though?
under the impression that Peach is his mother. He should not be making those gestures around her. I'm just saying.
When she's peanutting my park and then Mecha Bowser appears?
So this theme park reminds me of the fact that I recently went away on a trip to the Gold Coast for a week.
Yeah.
For 8 days, and it was very fun and nice and good. And despite the fact it was overcast the whole time, I loved it. I love fucking tropical islands, tourist trap paradises like that. I know a lot of people don't, but I fucking adore them. So going to the Gold Coast was super fun. I stayed in a place called Miami, and it wasn't Miami, but it was called Miami, which was cool. I have a lot of anecdotes from that whole trip, but this in particular, I went for the first time ever to theme parks. I went to SeaWorld, and then I went to Movie World. I went with my my dad. We're going to go to those 2 things. It was like the only 2 things on the trip that we were like definitely gonna do. We were getting a hire car. And we got the hire car, we were like, okay, if the hire car comes like kinda early or whatever, we'll go to SeaWorld. The hire car comes at like about 10 a.m. And we're like, alright, there's probably enough time to like go to SeaWorld and like see the basic, you know, the
His
get around
dingus
the
is
park.
spinning.
It closes at, this is tail, you dingus.
That's his cloaca.
You are correct. You've distracted me. Stop derailing me. I'm on this rail.
Yeah.
So the park opened at 9:30, and it closes at 5. So like we're leaving at 10. We'll be able to get there. We get to the car park. It's literally full to the brim. It's like the car park literally reaches over the horizon, and oh, I think I hit him. Oh, I did. Yay. That was just a wild shot, and that one missed to make up for it, I guess. So we get to the car park, fucking full to the brim. Literally, like,
Yeah.
cars as far as the eye can see. A giant, massive car park. Couldn't get in at all. And my dad was like, alright, fuck this. And then we just left. We did something
Makes
else
sense
that
to
day.
me.
Went up to Tambourine Mountain, which is literally just Harndorf, but in a different location.
It wasn't very impressive, it's just Handel.
It literally just was. At least I apparently there was like this cool, like someone told me afterwards But like apparently like there's this cool like jungle or like forest boardwalk thing that you can go over. And we didn't do that at all. That's for sure. Oh my god, I did this in record time. Anyway, so we went the next day. And my dad was like, fuck, like, you know, we are not, if we're going to get there, we're going to get a park. So we got there an hour early instead. So I got a picture of the car park completely empty.
Nice.
We were there from when it opened, literally when the gates opened. It was real shuffled in. Which, by the way, there was like 1 billion people there. Everyone went into this, into the jellyfish building at the same time, and I've never seen more people in one place in my life. And literally every step I took, I swear I was about to kill a child. Like it's just like it was just filled with people. It was very.
So you was a good time.
It was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Being one step away from murdering a child the whole time.
Also, fun fact: they do not believe. They don't believe in wearing masks in the Gold Coast, so I was the only one
Makes
that did
sense to me.
basically the entire trip. But, you know, anyway, I also wore it on the plane, which no one else wore, so I don't know.
Was the Gold Coast affected by the floods?
No, I heard about it afterwards. There was big floods going down in Melbourne. That's a bit of a tangent I was about to go on today. I went to the border of Queensland and New South Wales, where they're using completely different time zones because one of them believes in daylight savings and the other one doesn't, and it's very confusing.
Well, Queensland doesn't believe in
Oh, that's great. I love when that happens.
So like, but there's like a city. There's like literally just like in between the states, and you can like just walk over like a small park, and you're in a different state and a different time zone. So if you have an appointment, and they stick to those time zones. So if you have an appointment on the other side of this, on like, if you live in New South Wales and you have an appointment in Queensland, like you got to adjust your clock to whatever their time is. It's weird.
Yeah.
You just got to live like that. It's crazy, man.
I'll have to...
Damn, you really live like this? It's just because Queensland doesn't believe in daylight saving. They just don't do it.
Queensland's a foreign country, really.
Yeah.
They're backwards. They're the Alabama of Australia.
Not as crazy as Western Australia. I had no idea. Apparently Western Australia like wants to annex every now and then. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know that. Anyway, that's a whole
why
other
not?
tangent.
Just everyone
Is
wants
that the
to
word?
lead everywhere.
Wants to secede. Separate.
Yeah. What's annex mean? What did I just say something
It
stupid?
means it wants to take something else.
Oh, okay.
Someone else's.
They want to take my land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so secede, yes, thank you. I didn't even know that was a thing. Anyway, I'm getting very off topic. All I want to say is I enjoyed SeaWorld so fucking much. We were there literally from opening 9:30 and we left at 4 p.m, which is 1 hour before closing.
Yeah.
We were like, I
You were like, I am so sick of fish, I'm going home.
I was not sick of it. So they had like a place you could stay there, like a hotel thing. I'm like, oh man, that'd be cool. Anyway, the next day we went to Movie World, Warner Brothers Movie World, and we again opened. We were there like an hour before the gates opened when the car park was empty. We were there right when the gates opened at 9 a.m. and we left at 12:30. It was not as interesting.
No.
Because here's the thing: the whole theme park experience is new to me, right? Like I don't really know what it's all about necessarily. Like I like the shows and stuff at SeaWorld, but there were rides and things, but I'm not a ride person. I only ride on top of other people. Anyway, the thing about Movie World is it's cool. It's like got a really cool environment. It's like a cool vibe. They've got like recreated this little town, like street. This looks like an old American street. It's pretty cool. A lot of restaurants, a lot of places to be. I went and saw Scoob in 4D there. It was a hyper abridged version of Scoob, and they just kept like cutting scenes, and I basically saw the whole movie without actually seeing the whole movie.
That sounds great.
It was weird, and I was looking around, like, do people realize that this movie is viciously cut up? Fun fact about 4D: have you guys ever watched a 4D movie before?
No.
Yes, I remember. I want to say about 10, maybe 12. We went to, I think it was Disney World. And it was a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids 4D movie ride.
Is that where the chairs move? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, the chairs shake you a little bit, and then when the dog sneezes, the piss bottle sprays you.
Yeah, so you get three things. Your chair gyrates, they shoot gas at the back of your neck, and then they'll shoot water at you when Shrek sneezes at the screen. That was my first 4D experience.
Okay.
And I remember when I saw it like 10 years ago, the Shrek 4D, and I was like, man, this technology is interesting, but I can't wait for the future to see how they improve it. So I can now confidently report to you that they have not improved it.
They haven't. They forgot about it.
In fact, if anything, it's worse. I wasn't sneezed at all in the whole film. I was just gyrated up and down.
Not worth the money.
The main thing about Movie World was all the rides, particularly the roller coasters, right? And they had signs out by all the roller coasters that were like, that told you like the approximate wait time, and all of them were like upwards of like an hour, right?
Yeah,
so you were standing in line for like
work.
an hour. Well, what I realized is if you're not interested in rides, like that's kind of bad because that's basically going to be like half of your time at the park. You're going to go stand in a line for upwards of an hour, and then you're going to have like a 2-minute ride where you feel like you're going to die and you scream and you like literally feel the worst terror you've ever had in your life. And then you go and do it again at the next ride.
That's
and if you're not interested in rides,
the brain cells in the back of my brain that just tells me not to go on rides.
If you're not interested in rides, like me and Frank and possibly Mabini, I don't know, suddenly there's a hell of a lot less to do.
Yep.
And like there's lots of restaurants, and like they're all really cool, but once you have lunch once, you're like, all right, well I've had lunch. All of these restaurants mean nothing to me now, I guess. And yeah, so we just kind of like we wandered backwards and forwards.
Because like one of the amusing part that's like kind of close to where we live, I used to love going as a kid, even though I never liked going on the rides, because they had like they have like a small like zoo section and like an aquarium section. But
See,
in
that's
like
really
the
cool.
back
I
of the
wish they had
park,
that.
they had like carnival game stands, and I used to love going back there and doing them. But now that I'm a jaded adult, I realize 90% of them are just rigged, and I'd be better off just buying the shit instead of wasting all my money on the carny games.
There were carnival games at both of these parks, I will say, but I'm not interested in them either because I don't really care about tatty toys or anything like that anymore. I used to.
No, but yeah, like it wasn't really the toys. It was like I had a lot of fun like throwing the rings and the bottles and shit.
Oh.
But then you realize that 90% of the time it's just rigged, so you fail. It's like, oh, okay, I just won't do this then.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been super skeptical of games like that. That's why that one time that I won the damn claw machine, I was like, this one's not rigged, holy fuck!
Yeah.
And then I did, and I wasted all my money on it. It's just gonna finish my thought, which was like, yeah. So when you've had lunch, and you're not really interested in the rides, suddenly you're like, well, guess we can walk to the other side of the park again, and then I don't know. I guess we can just leave.
Yeah, I just remembered as a kid there was like an entire like water park section where they had like Looney Tune themed stuff with like water cannons that you could shoot at each other and like hit targets and make things happen. And then like they had like a strict height requirement, so after I turned like 13, or I think I might have been younger than that.
Day one.
Like I was too tall to go into the area, and I was like, well, I kind of hate being here now because this was like the big attraction.
You're just gonna knock all the light bulbs
I do kind of wish I was like a kid again. I might have had a lot more fun in Movie World. I like the Batmanings of it. Anyway, next time we need to stop. Goodbye.